China is responding after FBI Director Christopher Wray sounded the alarm over that communist country operating what amounted to secret spy stations on U.S. soil, some of them hiding in plain sight. The Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. says they are centers used to aid Chinese nationals. But the feds say China's government uses them to hunt down Chinese dissidents and abduct them on U.S. soil before taking them back to China. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty serves on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and he is here now. Senator, these are surveillance stations, police stations, some are calling them, in places like New York City, Toronto, London, Glasgow, and other cities. What, in your mind, are they all about?
It's an incredible violation of the sovereignty of every nation where these stations may be located, John. It's of deep concern. Chris Wray last week in the Senate hearing talked about this. There's an investigation underway right here in the United States. But China has become so bold that they're doing this on our own soil. It's absolutely amazing. And at the same time, the Biden administration has been, allowing this type of activity to occur. They've been so aggressive in the Taiwan Strait. China's been so aggressive there. They've even had to scramble Japanese jets to fend off China warplanes coming into Okinawan airspace, where we have a massive U.S. military presence there. You've got, I think, a real concern when the China Initiative at the Department of Justice that was launched back in 2018 to deal with precisely this type of spying, intellectual property theft, has been dropped by the Biden administration. We need these type of powers and authorities now more than ever.
You mentioned Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI. He says that he is aware, as you pointed out, of these stations. He said, quote, "We are aware of the existence of these stations. We are aware that it's a real problem and something that we're talking with our foreign partners about as well, because we're not the only country where this has occurred." The FBI is investigating the Chinese government for potential harassment, stalking, monitoring of Chinese nationals, and blackmailing people who have been critical of Xi Jinping. Why isn't this White House stepping up and doing something about it?
They absolutely should. And this is wholly unacceptable. I think you ask any American, they certainly think this is wrong. It's, again, an invasion of our own sovereignty. And anybody here who is of Chinese descent, again, their rights are being oppressed by the Chinese government on our soil. The Chinese Communist Party, again, far too aggressive. The Biden administration needs to step up and push back.
But we do know that this is a serious enough problem that the DOJ has actually taken some steps legally, filing charges against 7 Chinese nationals who were spying on and harassing a U.S. resident and his family. The goal of the Chinese was to get 1 or more members of that family back to China. So if a foreign government is operating in this way on our soil, it seems logical that while the DOJ can file criminal charges against them, that the State Department should be able to do something about it as well.
Indeed, indeed, and they certainly should. They have the ability to do this, and they should be lodging complaints with the Chinese government right now. I would be very interested to know what Joe Biden had to say with President Xi when they met in Indonesia a week ago. Was this on the table? Was this one of the topics that they discussed? I certainly doubt it, because after that meeting is when the Chinese Communist Party decided to go ahead and move more ships, more airplanes into the Taiwan Strait, and again, come into Okinawan airspace. So it doesn't seem that our pressure is working.
Yeah, real quick last question. So we know that this is targeted toward Chinese nationals who are on U.S. soil. How much of a leap would it be for the Chinese to just kind of tweak the antenna and start aiming this at U.S. nationals?
I think that's the concern that you're striking at right now, John, is a deep concern to all of us. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope the FBI and the DOJ step up, and let's hope that this Biden administration realizes the threat that it is and calls it out.
Senator Bill Hagerty, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.